Look around everywhere in confusion. In our small island, even at United Nations. World leaders, oh yes, I'm afraid to say, taking us closer to destruction every day. Oh yes, corruption breeding corruption is the talk all about. Dissatisfaction in government and policies is a common shout. Hatred, envy and spite, I say, has now become the order of the day. Oh yes, well look, the forces of evil acting today, trying to get us down in every way. So we got to stand up for what is right. That's right, drive evil deeds from the darkness onto the light. And billions, let's pray for the land. Walk hand in hand. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Collectively pray, everyone, and work with a plan. Let me drive all evil deeds from the land.
Should the Lord, should the Lord.
Right around here in our country, there are 10 situations you can clearly see. Opposition opposing every move government made, opposing everything just for opposition's sake. We see a system where our people slowly lose the right to think, and most of all the freedom to choose. In a regrettably so-called tourist industry, workers are fired without warning, without mercy. So you see, hungry mothers with their children to feed, trying desperately to fulfill their needs. A high price of survival we have to pay. Oh yes, evil force is increasing every day. And billions, let's pray for the land. Walk hand in hand. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Collectively pray, everyone, and work with a plan. Let me drive all evil deeds from the land. Aye.
Should the Lord, should the Lord.
Bloodbaths in Syria and Afghanistan, in South Africa, victimization and oppression. Remember Grenada just the other day. A military junta destroy all that stood in its way. Oh yes, the world is standing on the brink of disaster, and may well soon end if our hungry leaders continue along this trend to pressurize people to satisfy their selfish needs, holding on to power at the expense of those they bleed. We pray that the forces of evil now stand in our way, creating heavier burdens every day, may very soon diminish from our sight. That's right, bringing brightness where once there was night. Come, pastors, pray for the land. Walk hand in hand. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Collectively pray, everyone, and work with a plan. Let me drive all evil deeds from the land. Come, pastors, pray for the land. Walk hand in hand. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Collectively Hey, everyone, and work with a plan. Let me drive all evil deeds from the land. Aye. Lord, help us, help us.
Yes, my good people, I'm DJ Marisha coming to you live and direct from a remote location here in the NYC, the New York City area. Yes, I'm remote this evening. I'm just back from the UK last evening, so I apologize for not being able to come live last night, but during my time that I would be coming to you live, I was flying across the Atlantic. So for those of you who missed the DJ last evening, I have been running around the place asking for the DJ. Please understand that we had other things to deal with. Went across to the UK to show some respect to their cousin, friend there, brother Ralph Francis, aka Vincent Carty. You know, I just want to say special good evening to Sister Muriel and the family there, and everyone that accommodated the DJ while he was in the UK. Special mention to my sister there, Sister Jennifer, that went all out for the DJ, you know, and my boy there, brother Ruben Daniel. Not forgetting Sister Charlene, Daniel, my girl there, Sister Margaret Taylor, and Daddy. Good evening, Daddy. How you doing? I understand you listen to the podcast as well. I want to touch my girl there, Sister Yvonne, for giving me the live feed last Wednesday evening from the Birmingham area. Sister Sandra, for all your efforts and everything that you did while I was there in the UK. I want to touch all you UK massive. Not forgetting my boy there, the man brother Bernard Lewis, who basically took me around the place there and showed me a few areas, take me to meet some family members I have not seen in some time. It was good to see Sister Liz. Want to thank Donna for accommodating the DJ with all of that. There's so much to speak about in the UK. It was a funeral, but yet turned out to be a very positive one, mixing with family, mingling with family. Sister Ellen, Jennifer Fonita, Jerome, the whole crew, you know. But Ellen, Archibald always treat me like a king. Sister Chantel and everyone that's there. When I'm in the UK, I don't have to worry about anything. I also want to thank my cousin there, the man, Brother Christopher Bunny there, that met me at the train station there in London as usual, and chat with his cousin for a bit. It was good to see that he made the effort to see the DJ. But the Daniel there, Ruben Daniel, man, I can't thank you enough for everything that you have done. But in the meantime and between time, people, for those of you who might be scrolling the web and bumping to us and wondering what this podcast is all about, let's take a quick listen to this clip.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishaw's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishaw, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Log on.
Yes, my good people, you heard it right. DJ Marisha is here each and every Wednesday evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And fortunately, last evening I was in flight across the Atlantic there from the UK back to the New York area. Also want to big up my boy there, Brother Malvin Herbert, for picking up the DJ from the JFK last night in this cold weather. My good people, the place is very, very cold. And I understand there's some snowstorm that is scheduled for this weekend. Let's hope that the weatherman is wrong, because the DJ is not ready for this kind of blast, you know. But in the meantime and between time, we're going to kick it off lively with the man, Brother G.A. Dwyer Astafan commentary for today. Basically, this commentary was for yesterday, Wednesday, 21st of January. But the DJ is here on a Thursday evening. But we're going to do it nice as usual. Stand by for G.A. Dwyer Astafan's commentary.
Greetings. There is a number of important issues confronting our nation today, and most of them are being discussed publicly, which is good. 4 of them are: 1, the SSZ in Nevis, although I must say I'm not hearing much about it now. I hope this is not a 9-day wonder because it is too important to our patrimony. Another is the Fort Thomas matter, which similarly is not, in my opinion, getting enough attention. These are consequential matters, very serious. Then we have the U.S. visa restrictions matter and the deportees matter and the related memoranda of understanding signed separately between most of the OECS countries and United States. And these visa and deportee and MOU matters, in my opinion, nakedly expose our negotiating and diplomatic weaknesses and our vulnerability to indignity. It is important to keep discussing these matters and to ensure, as responsible citizens in a democracy, that our government makes wise decisions on our behalf and that we are fully consulted. But there are other critically important matters which also require our attention. And if these matters are not properly resolved, things will become incalculably worse in every sense of the word for the people of St. Kitts Nevis. One of these is the situation at Christophe Harbour. I've been talking about this for many years. The whole thing started with a terrible agreement signed on the 15th of June 2007 by then Prime Minister Dr. Douglas on behalf of the government and by Mr. Charles Buddy Darby on behalf of a company called KHT Land Holdings Limited, which became the master developer of 3.5 square miles of the southeast peninsula of St. Kitts, which they called Christophe Harbour. As I said, I've been discussing this matter for years. Had serious problems with it when I was in the cabinet, but perhaps many of us have forgotten. And sometimes the most dangerous thing in the world is something we may not see or be paying attention to. So let me remind us, the deal as it was structured, I have nothing against development, once that development does not render us undignified and marginalized. This is our country. The deal as it was structured was unrealistically ambitious on the part of Darby and KHT. It exposed the gullibility and poor judgment of the leadership of the country back then. It placed too much power in the hands of Darby and KHT and too much of a burden on the backs of residential and commercial investors at Christophe Harbour. Its virtual stagnation for the last 13 years did nothing to excite investment into our economy, and it marginalized and deprived Kittitians and divisions. And now, after 19 years of unbroken promises, after 19 years of KHT's hollow promise to pump $2 billion into our economy and to turn St. Kitts Nevis into an El Dorado, it did the opposite. Darby and KHT instead borrowed tens of millions of dollars from us, from our bank, from SIDF, and ran up massive debts, millions of dollars of debts, all over the place. Allowed to do so because of bad decisions by successive administrations and weak leadership of the country. After 19 years of other broken promises, for example, no world-class golf course, which hurt the hotel operation, this only hotel that is there, and hurt the whole country, no second hotel, and all of that. After all of those things, the situation has reached the point where residential and commercial investors at Christophe Harbour have had enough. Something has to happen. They want the government to intervene and rescue them from the terrible burden which they have faced and continue to face under Darby and KHT. And 2, they want the government to revive their hope, their confidence, and their faith, and the hope, confidence, and faith of other investors. I want to focus on the one hotel, remember the promise too, and a golf course, and the world. I want to focus on the one hotel that was built at Christophe Harbour under the ridiculous, oppressive, unfair master agreement arrangements down there. I speak of the beautiful Park Hyatt Hotel. Built by Range Developments, the Park Hyatt, is a top hotel in the country, certainly in St. Kitts. That and the Four Seasons are world-class operation. And it is the only completed and operational real estate CBI project ever done in this country. Quite the opposite of those crooked Chinese projects which were allowed in here by Dr. Douglas and Dr. Harris. They came in here, they didn't finish, they never intended to, and they robbed the country. And we must never forget what they did and who allowed them to do it. The Park Hyatt employs about 230 persons, 85 to 90% of whom are locals from both St. Kitts and Nevis. It is a major contributor to the local economy, and its owners, the Range Developments, have endured much over the years just to keep it open and to provide employment and other benefits to our people. They didn't have to stick around, They don't have to stick around. Successive administrations knew, and the present one knows about the problems which the owners of this hotel have been experiencing over the last 9 years. But none has come to the rescue of the hotel with regard to this terrible problem with Derby and KHT. And the failure of governments and the situation at Christophe Harbour, especially with the Park Hyatt Hotel. Everything is now under threat. The existence of the hotel is under threat. The jobs of the 230 plus people are under threat. Business contracts with vendors and other business trading partners are under threat. The macro economy is under threat. But even with that, Range Developments, the owners of the hotel, as I said, have continued to be patient and to demonstrate their faith in the country and their commitment to the people of the country now. Some years ago, despite all of the frustration, despite their pleadings to former governments, they decided to build a hotel at La Valley called Six Senses, a world-class hotel funded under CBI. But they had a problem, the developers did. At the time, a lot of CBI units were being sold below the legally set price. And the Range developers said they're not going to be involved in that. They're operating at a high level and they're not going to break the law. You know what they were told by somebody high up? Go with the flow. Don't bother with the legal minimum. Go with the flow. In other words, break the law. Range said, no, not us. We're not doing that. So Range said they're not going to build a hotel in St. Kitts again. And they moved the project to Grenada, where today a beautiful hotel, their second on that island, operates, providing business and employment opportunities for hundreds, maybe indirectly thousands of Grenadians, at the loss and expense of business and job opportunities for hundreds, maybe thousands of Kittitians and Nevisians, and our economy. Thank you, Dr. Timothy Harris, for that. An act of poor judgment, poor leadership, and in the process, massive deprivation and betrayal of the people of this country. I'm happy for the people of Grenada, but we must never forget that we lost the Six Senses and why we lost it. Particularly the people between, say, Old Road and St. Paul's, Dieppe, the job opportunities, the business opportunities to supply goods and services, the opportunities that would remove the need for you to come to Bastille, lost because of bad leadership. Never forget it. Never forget it. Scorpions are scorpions. Yet despite all of the frustration, all of the harassment, all of the disappointment, the Range developers still did not totally lose faith. They persevered. They then proceeded to show that they not lost good faith. They brought in high quality investors to the country to help with Christophe Harbour and Kittitian Hill, located at both ends of the island, two projects which have the potential to turn this country really into an El Dorado for our people. Range did that. They brought in people. Nothing has been done of substance with regard to that by the present administration, because I know what I'm telling you. The people of Christophe Harbour, the people of Kittitian Hill, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis need those projects to be successful. And Range was offering the help, human resource, capital, the whole 9 yards. Nothing. And apart from that, they continued to demonstrate a high level of social conscience and goodwill to the people of this country. Still no relief. To this day, they continue to be in the clutches of Derby and KHT, who by their ineffectiveness and unfair pressure on the hotel and its owners are holding back development, not only in Christopher Harbour, but in the whole country. We the people have to pick sides, you know. We have to pick sides. And we have to pick the side of the investors who have a social conscience and who have the capability of making good things happen for us. Whatever the motives are of Derby and KHT, the folks at Christopher Harbour, homeowners and the hotel owner, and worst of all, we the people of this country have been suffering and continue to suffer too long now. And something has to be done. And you know, even with all of those blows that Range Developments, the owners of Park Hyatt, have been taking for all of these years, and even with the lack of proper support from an intervention by the government, I am told that Range recently indicated a willingness to build and develop yet another major hotel on the island, which would employ hundreds of people in construction and hundreds in operation, and give our economy the massive and desperately needed injection. Talk about faith and patience. In fact, faith and patience which passeth all understanding. Most companies would have already given up. And bear in mind, Range doesn't need us. They can close down the hotel and walk away. But now they have reached the end of the rope. And if the Drew administration does not step in quickly to clean up the mess and give relief to Range Developments and other investors in Christopher Harbour, the workers and everybody, if no relief comes, if there is no urgent and corrective intervention, and if it doesn't come, the politicians are going to have to explain to the workers down there and their families and the voters and the businesses in St. Kitts and Nevis why they have not taken action. Now is come go home time. If there is no urgent and corrective intervention, the developers will abandon the idea of building this new hotel. And they will, because the Six Senses was a bad experience for them with the former government. And you know what they'll do in addition to that? They will close the hotel permanently and let grass grow through it unless somebody comes around to buy it, because Range does not need to be here. I'm not saying we're beholden to them and we must go on our knees. But these are proven investors, both economically and socially, and with a corporate conscience that is unparalleled in the country. And they will move, they'll build the hotel that they would have built here in one of the other islands. They have two in Grenada, one in Dominica, and investments in many parts of the world. Closure of that hotel would mean the loss of 230 plus jobs and many other indirect jobs, as well as the loss of money, maybe over $1 million a year, into Social Security, a loss of money into National Bank, which money could be used to turn around and lend and expand the economy and put the bank in a better position than it is in today, and a lot of money into the government. And I'll say this, Social Security, National Bank and the government are not in the best shape, and the departure of Range and the decision not to build a second hotel could only make it worse for not only those institutions, because they are the three pillars of our economy and society. It could put St. Kitts and Nevis into a deep, dark hole. God knows if we could recover from that. All of us would lose. We cannot afford for that to happen. What will the Drew administration do? This is a defining moment which, in the interest of the people of our country and our committed, substantial and reputable investor friends, it needs to be resolved with a firm, free and decisive hand. We need proper leadership. We are looking to Dr. Drew and his colleagues to provide that leadership. Now, I didn't study economics or accounting or finance at university. I learned those things working in my father's grocery shop, selling pig snout, saltfish, flour, red butter and cooking oil to fishermen, shoemakers, tailors, seamstresses, tradesmen, laborers, sugar workers and other poor people. Those were the people who shopped with us. Those are the people who sent me to university. And those are the people who sent me to Parliament. I can never forget them. And I'm trying to use whatever little personal and social skills I have, whatever little common sense I have, whatever conscience that Jah has given to me. I'm doing all that I can in the just cause of the children, grandchildren, and later descendants of those same poor people who sent me to school and university and Parliament. I'm doing this in the just cause of Range Developments, the Park Hyatt, their workers, the people who supply goods and services to them, and their families, and the other property owners and investors at Christopher Harbour. I'm doing this in the cause of all of us. I'm not playing hero. I'm a concerned citizen, and I'm smart enough to know wrong when I see it, and this is wrong. My education in the shop and on the street corners tells me that this is a giant problem for the country. It is yet another national tragedy in the making as a consequence of terrible leadership from 2007 going forward. And it only can be averted if the Drew administration moves quickly, smartly and deliberately and comes to the rescue of the hotel's owners, the hotel workers, their families, and the entire country. If he and his colleagues fail to do this, they should stay home because the consequences to the country will be unforgivable. And I'm calling on the people of the country to stand up on this issue. We're not asking anybody to be hostile or disrespectful towards our leaders, but we need to let them know that we have common sense and conscience, and that the 55,000 of us out here are more powerful than those inside the parliament. We need to send that message clearly, and we need action, protective and proper action in this matter from the Drew administration. Thank you.
I think we.
Yes, sir. Brother Dwyer. There's so much you have said there, and still there's so much you have not said there. I am at a loss. I must admit that, and I'm pretty sure it's not from jet lag. I am pretty sure it is not from jet lag, Dwyer. I'm pretty sure I'm hearing you correctly. Trying to advise the current administration, Prime Minister Drew, to come up with some kind of financial support to save some foreign investors and the Southeast. I'm pretty sure I'm hearing you correctly, Dwyer. So, Dwyer, where were you for the past months that we have been struggling about the small business in St. Kitts, the local mom and pop shop, the Glenbarrow, the folks there at Nevis that are struggling, the Reginald Francis situation, where the government basically trying to run him out of business. And these folks should be first to be helped by the government. Shouldn't the local citizens that have been struggling since COVID throughout St. Kitts Nevis should be the first to be bailed out? We just heard from Timothy Harris some weeks ago about some $27 million that was given to the Marriott in loan, special loan, interest-free loan. We just heard about that. That was done secretly. We heard about the $700+ million in deficit. You speak about the Fort Thomas, but you did not go into details on the Fort Thomas situation, do you? And a few people have been reaching out to me, Dwyer. And I try my best not to get caught up in the conversation because, in my view, Dwyer, the little I know of you over the years that we have met, and I would say officially we met on the release of my coming out of quarantine there back in 2020. That's when we actually first had a real conversation in regards to myself and onwards to the campaign to get rid of the former administration. And you have been, in my view, a good soldier, still is. But I am at a loss, Dwyer, with some of the shit you'd be talking. I am at a loss because some time back, I was playing a clip that somebody sent me where you was the Minister of Tourism and there was some golf course that say should be built down on the same valley down there in the Sandy Point area. Some amount of money was involved. You sign on some document or whatever, or check, I do not know. It was said, Dwyer, that you claim that you will not deny the fundings or the agreement or whatever monies, but you can't recall. So if you can't recall those kind of things, Dwyer, how your memory can be so good about the Six Sense Hotel, the Christoph Harbor and everything else? We need to really have a serious conversation with you guys that conveniently remember things and conveniently forget things. You see, Dwyer, this DJ was never really into politics. Never. My lockdown in quarantine and in November of 2020 and going forward, trying to keep an eye on what's really going on in St. Kitts. And most of this administration, I am not confused. I am not mistaken. I know for sure now, Dwyer, that for whatever the reason, you refuse to hold this Dr. Joe-led Labour administration feet to the fire as we agreed to. Dwyer was a part of that team. It was 8 of us working together to get rid of the former administration because of corruption. What we campaigned to be corruption. What Dr. Joe claimed to be corruption. What the Labour colleagues claimed to be corruption. Well, it's happening more now on steroids, Dwyer. So, when I listen to you chatting this bullshit, I got a problem with you now, Dwyer. Because bullshit you're talking. Let's talk about taking care of the local small businesses and businesses resident of St. Kitts and Nevis before we start talking about every time you look around, we're giving loans and financial support to foreign investors that say they're bringing in money. They're supposed to be bringing in monies to invest. Instead, they're coming and taking our CBI, doing as they please with it, corrupting it, criminalizing it. And like you said, when they get enough money, they don't have to stick around. They could leave. They don't have to stay because they have made enough money, and that's it. And many of you attorneys and St. Kitts and Nevis benefit from this bullshit as well, because you all get paid big money for processing these applications, this CBI application. So Dwyer, the DJ, you know, this is, I don't need to just hear talk week after week after week. Some actions need to come into play, Dwyer. As you said, this SSG matter, enough have not been done by the people who is in a position to do something, the NGOs and everybody else. People like Ricky Skerritt and them quiet as a lamb. They are big people in St. Kitts. The Mitchell, the Contenders, the Sam Kanders. You know, many of the folks out there who have been benefiting from this country. Why you all so quiet? Why you all so quiet? And these things, the Fort Thomas matter is going full speed ahead. You know, this visa business with the deportees, Dwyer. The DJ have not moved on from that as yet, you know. The DJ is still at a loss from you guys who are scholars who went to university, college, and say you all are the smartest in the world. I have not moved on as yet from the initial part of this thing. Because when these bright labor rights and labor candidates went into office, they got in there because they campaigned on a good governance agenda. Freedom of information, integrity in public life. These are things that we campaign on. They brag and boast that they was the one that get this thing going, that make it a law, that make it real, that make it a bill. But the action of this government and this leader, Dr. Joe, is different to what they are peddling. And unfortunately, the folks in the diaspora might believe a lot of bullshit that they're hearing that is not taking place on St. Kitts Nevis. We on there on the ground. We know it's a bunch of bullshit. But the people in the diaspora, whether it's within the region or internationally, they listen to you guys and they believe because you dress up in your sharp jacket and tie, you're speaking the truth. But when I look at this Dr. Drew-led Labour administration, they are nothing less than just common thief on the street like all the other little boys out there. That is my view of them. They are corrupt, more corrupt than the former administration with the things that they're doing. Because, my good people, if Dr. Drew was serious about freedom of information and integrity in public life, they'd have to talk about sovereign. What is sovereign to them? What is sovereign to Prime Minister Drew and his team? We just went into months of debate, several months of debate about this SSZ Act, this SSZ bill, this Destiny Project and Nevis that nobody, well, I wouldn't say nobody, but the majority of people at Nevis have no interest in. We just went 2 weeks of town hall meetings on both St. Kitts and Nevis. During that period, Prime Minister Drew and his team, his cabinet, were well aware of the situation with the CBI and what the US government, what the marching orders the US government gave to them in regards to taking the criminals that they allow into the US and into Canada and into the EU. That is all that it is, you know. When you hear Dr. Drew telling us just a few Thursdays back about there was an MOU signed between his government and the United States to accept third country refugees, with the exception of Haiti. I could understand the Haitians out there getting upset and speaking about they are not being a part of this agreement. But when I look at my colleagues, the members of the St. Kitts Nevis Media Association, going to sit into that room where they have, call it as a round table, which is a square table. I'm going to sit in there collectively and accept this bullshit instead of going after the Prime Minister with some anger to get him to explain to this country, why would you think you have the right, with the 6 of you or the 9 of you in the Labour administration, to go out there and sign MOU on behalf of the people of St. Kitts Nevis without having consultation with the people? You're going to tell me that you, Dwyer, Sam Kanda, and the rest of all of you with your big brains, you are going to sit back and having this petty conversation about, oh, they leave out Haiti out of agreement? There should be an agreement signed before the Prime Minister and his team come and speak to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Simple as that. And that's where it should be at. People should be upset. People need to be outraged that any Prime Minister, any Premier, any Minister of Government, whether Foreign Minister, AG, or Attorney General, going to take it upon themselves without consultation with the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to go, they're having conversation and signing MOU without consultation with the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. I have a problem with it. I have listened to some individuals trying to spin, trying to say it's only a MOU. I lost confidence in Dr. Drew and this government, the Labour administration, for months now. That is why we are where we are in terms of understanding. The amount of lies that I have experienced from Prime Minister Drew, anything that that gentleman says, I have to see proof. I do not trust one thing that this gentleman says. He lies too much. So my good people, when Dr. Drew going to come and tell the country and the world at large that he signed a MOU with the US government to accept refugees. Let me drop that clip that you can hear it for yourself.
So St. Kitts and Nevis has negotiated and entered into a memorandum of understanding with the United States of America for the potential transfer of certain third country nationals. And I want us to listen carefully, who are citizens or nationals of the Caribbean community. This does not involve anybody outside of CARICOM. And this is in keeping with our CARICOM principle. And I will further say that because of security matters, it does not include Haiti at this particular time. It does not involve anybody from any other place outside of the CARICOM region. Under the arrangement, the United States may propose transfers of CARICOM nationals. This is what St. Kitts and Nevis has negotiated, without violent or sexual criminal backgrounds. The MOU contemplates jointly develop operational procedures, including capacity-based limits and logistical arrangements. So in St. Kitts and Nevis's negotiations, through our proactive diplomacy, this only contemplates CARICOM citizens. At this time, for security reasons, excluding Haiti. These CARICOM nationals, they are without violent or sexual criminal backgrounds. I think there might be different discussions with other jurisdictions, but in St. Kitts and Nevis, the CARICOM nationals, excluding Haiti at this time for obvious security matters. And thirdly, these persons cannot be violent or sexual criminals. And it has to be agreed to between our partner, the United States of America, and St. Kitts and Nevis. We are a CARICOM country. CARICOM citizens can come to St. Kitts and Nevis. And all CARICOM countries, I think, have agreed to receive their people. So it means, therefore, that this arrangement of, I would call, collaboration really is a scenario that is in keeping with our CARICOM principles.
Greetings. There is a number of
My good people, this Prime Minister, he lies so much and tried to play on words so much that you have to be very keen. Listen to him very carefully as he presents his words. You hear the Prime Minister interchanging as he go along. According to the Prime Minister, these deportees, that's what they are. He called them refugees at one point. But these deportees, you hear him speak about CARICOM national, CARICOM citizens. My good people, when the Prime Minister is referring to CARICOM citizens, let's sit back for a minute and ask the question of the Prime Minister. One, why would the US government, if this is a sovereign state, St. Kitts Nevis is sovereign. Yes, they got nationals all over the globe. And if they are to be deported back to St. Kitts and Nevis, they are nationals of St. Kitts Nevis. They have to accept them. But this MOU, this memorandum of understanding that the Prime Minister is trying to feed you with a baby spoon for you to bite at and accept the bullshit that is taking place. We need to dig deep. This memorandum of understanding must be tabled in the cabinet. This memorandum of understanding must get the full effect of public consultation. We must throw our frack, our pants over our head and tell the Prime Minister, come hell and high water, we will not accept this one. What the Prime Minister is not telling the people of St. Kitts and Nevis home locally, regionally, and internationally. And let him come and challenge the DJ. Present the facts and tell the DJ he's wrong. Many of these bad actors that has been caught around the globe with all kind of crimes, criminal activities, they have never been to St. Kitts. They have no ties to St. Kitts except receiving the citizenship of St. Kitts and Nevis, and by extension, they get a passport that marks St. Kitts and Nevis. When they hold these criminals around the globe, what they show as an ID, or what they show of a country where they're from, is a St. Kitts and Nevis passport. These citizens are economic citizens. Economic citizens. But according to that MOU, they are citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, because that is what they presented when they was caught. They didn't present a passport from Iran or Russia or China. They presented a citizenship document for St. Kitts and Nevis. These are the CARICOM citizens that the Prime Minister trying to pull over our eye. The wall that he's trying to pull over our eye. In the end of his clip, you heard him say that the other islands are taking their citizen. They're taking their returning deportees. So why an MOU have to be signed by our country? Doctor, you need to come clean to the people. Some months ago, as far as back as 2023, 2024, when I was challenging them to do the right thing by MSR Media, Mr. Philip Martinez, after I get hold of some information, which I think what they was doing to Mr. Martinez was wrong, I advised the Prime Minister, in the presence of the AG and Mr. Benter, to try to settle the matter. Don't let it get to this. We all know what happened since that. I have been keeping my eyes on the prize. I heard of a documentary with the CBI matter and the underselling and who got the millions overseas in their account. And when I took the time out with some other citizens in St. Kitts and Nevis to go and look at this documentary, there are people in St. Kitts that knows what's in the documentary. The AG is aware what is in that documentary. The DPP is aware of what is in that documentary. Dwyer Astafan is aware of what is in that documentary. And they knows the guilty criminals we have in St. Kitts and Nevis that have robbed this country blind of our CBI. But many people sitting back quietly and coming to sing like a cheerleader that this Prime Minister is so innocent. They're all corrupt. There's one elected member, and I challenge them to tell me I am wrong. There's an elected member, when I challenge them about the wrong they're doing to the people, what they're doing to the country, and the unfair behavior, the fraud, I was told if it was Timothy alone involved, we could let Timothy go, but we have to protect Dougie. And I asked the question, protect Dougie from what? Protect Dougie from what? And I challenge Dougie tonight, you know. Dougie, look at the DJ. I challenge you tonight. if you was a part of this negotiation for this MOU to bring third country deportees into St. Kitts and Nevis, I challenge you that you all have agreed to this thing to save your ass and other individual that is involved. And this country should not be going through this hell to save a couple of you all greedy, corrupt backsides. The DJ telling you that. I am in the US at the moment. I have been digging deep for months. And the more I dig, is the more these things stink to high heaven. How the backside we're going to continue to elect these corrupt people and put them in position so that they're trying to save the country, help the country, when all they're doing is raping the country. You understand? All they're doing is raping the country. I don't come here on a Wednesday night or any night and just talk just for talking's sake. I speak because I see the documentation to support what I am saying. And I challenge the AG, the Prime Minister, the Foreign Minister, and all of them, the DPP. They know what I'm talking about. Dwyer know what I'm talking about. Sam Condon know what I'm talking about. Tell the people, and I go off and tell you the Premier of Nevis. The Premier of Nevis is also aware of what I'm talking about. Because based on some information I received since I'm here in the US, while the Premier was the Foreign Affairs Minister, he had a conversation with the US government. He knows what the conversation he had with the US government. So I asked the Premier, who is now the opposition leader of St. Kitts and Nevis, while he was with the Team Unity administration, as the Foreign Affairs Minister, what conversation did he have with the US government? Why the people must continue to pay the price for your greedy, corrupt bastards in St. Kitts and Nevis? Why? The DJ is asking these questions. Now, if the people of St. Kitts and Nevis want to sit back and continue to allow these criminals that we have in cabinet, that we have in the federal parliament, that we have in the NIA, to continue take us down the road, guess what? This afternoon I was here relaxing and I scrolled through social media and something pop up, and I actually thought was just somebody bigging up my partner. And as I checked the story, I realized that a gentleman that has been having some good conversation with me over the last couple of years, and more so on a daily basis, he come down to the ferry terminal and play domino with me. The Rasta man, the Ballage. I understand he pass. I just left Ballage in St. Kitts just the week when I left, when I traveled to from St. Kitts there. Ballage and I played domino at the ferry terminal last week. So, my good people, nobody life is guaranteed. Life is not guaranteed to any of us, no matter what we have. But I will not go to sleep. I will not leave this earth without making sure that the damage that was done to this country that I was a part of, putting these corrupt actors in government, that I'm not going to play my role. Legally, I'm going to do my part to make sure that we fix that problem. The issues that St. Kitts and Nevis are having today is because of that leader. Douglas was bad. Timothy, they did their stuff. The country, we see the corruption and we say we want to get rid of it. But how did we find ourselves here in this position that quickly? I told someone earlier today, I know that I'm not perfect, but I could not have had it that wrong to not see that Dr. Drew was not the person. There are many people within his cabinet, within his association, that told me, you're going to regret supporting Dr. Drew. He worse than Timothy. I see them be hugging up in all kind of function and they're traveling and playing, going here and going there. I never believe in this short space of time. I would have to acknowledge that, yes, the good man that I supported, the man that I said is the change that is needed for St. Kitts and Nevis, would be so corrupted. My good people of St. Kitts and Nevis, I commit tonight to stand a long run with you all because it's Thursday evening. And then I got other programs on a Thursday evening. But I just come here to remind us what we have as a government today is not for the best interest of St. Kitts and Nevis, my good people. We must demand that that MOU be made public. We read some contracts some time ago that was written in a form where if certain things does not take place within a certain time, then it becomes law, is perceived as valid. We need to see what is in that MOU. We need to know. You all remember some time ago, Dr. Douglas was the Prime Minister, you know. Dr. Douglas' government was in power. The SCELEC rates, the electricity rates went up while Dr. Douglas was Prime Minister. And you all know what Dr. Douglas did? Dr. Douglas went on his platform and tell people that they must come into Bastille, Labor Day to march to make sure the electricity rate come down. When all Dr. Douglas had to do was make a phone call or send a letter to reduce the rates. But people fall for it. Listen for yourself.
My mother, when I see some people bills, I want to cry. And me ain't gonna say it's because the what list. I believe it is because things were hard. And I empathize. And we got to do something about that. And that is why on Monday we must march to do something about electricity. We got to march. We got to march to do something about the electricity high rates that we are paying. And to give encouragement to your government to get involved to bring the cost of electricity right down. We're going to march on Labor Day to bring the electricity rates down. Nobody's supposed to be living in modern St. Kitts and Nevis and are talking about they have battle lamp and they have all kind of candle in their house. That have to stop. We're going to bring it down. I want it now. I want it now. And we're going to march on Labor Day to bring it now. We want it now. Now, now, now. Comrades, we got to march on that and stamp on that and get rid of high electricity costs. Now! We want it now.
So my good people, all of these games and this bullshit that they play on people and they fall for it. Dr. Douglas was the Prime Minister then. All it took was a phone call or a letter to SCELEC to drop the rates. But people fell for it. Now, you all heard the recent situation. He is in a cabinet with Prime Minister Drew and the rest of his team. Dr. Drew came out and said they're willing to take third country refugees, but nobody from Haiti. Dr. Douglas came out with a long statement talking about the history of Haiti. But weren't he in cabinet when they had this conversation? They use Haiti at their convenience. When they want to stay in power, they go work up here. I don't believe in up here, but they believe in it. And if you don't believe me, take a listen.
And that is why, you know, that is why This evening I was home, resting. I got a call. Said, Mr. Prime Minister, you know what is happening right now in the cemetery? I said, what? I said, what's going on up there? They said, Sam Conda, Timothy Harris. They said, Dwyer Rastafan, but I don't know if he was there. And some others up there in the cemetery. I said, yes. They're going to walk up here now upon us, boy. Look like I'm going to go Haiti. I said, boy. I said, what the ass is this? They're going to walk up here upon us. I said, but I'm going to call on God Almighty.
So, my good people, you hear Dougie for yourself. They believe in the Obia business that helped them stay in office, according to Dougie. So they're gone to Haiti. But to save our brothers and sisters in Haiti, to help our brothers and sisters in Haiti, you understand what's going on. But my good people, I got news for them, you know. I got news for them. Because my boy sent me a message here. And let me drop that clip. Because my boy tell me, DJ, let them know that if you think you done, you just a come.
Yo, DJ, are you done mixing yet?
Your DJ has only just begun.
You heard that? You heard that? This DJ has only just begun. So if they think the DJ finish yet, we coming strong.
Yo, DJ, are you done mixing yet?
Your DJ has only just begun.
Yeah, man, you tell them that. All that's taking place right now is just the tip of the iceberg. Because guess what? The truth must be told. Dr. Drew must table that MOU. Dr. Drew must bring that MOU to the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. Let us see what in that MOU. Tell the people of St. Kitts and Nevis why the US government think they have a right to come to a sovereign state, a sovereign country, and tell us we have to take third country refugees. What give them that right? And you know something, Dr. Drew? I remember playing this song for former Prime Minister, you know. I'm going to drop this track for you, Dr. Drew. I'm in a music kind of a feeling this evening. So I'm going to drop this one for you. The Dr. Lord Nelson.
To see who they will crown as lion champion. Liars from all parts of the West Indies, big shot liars from all them foreign countries. From a feel about 1,000 or so entry in 2 days, he boiled down and leave just 3. I had me eye on Liar the lion, because I know he does come with some good ones. But they had a younger fella named Debo, come from some village there in Tobago. He say his father is Tobago's best fisherman. Catch a fisherman wide 80 feet in span. He had to tighten the boat and swim back to land to get his brother Eric to give him a hand. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie? Teacher Percy say if you tell a lie, you go into hell as soon as you die. Why, sir? Check it out. ain't say nothing yet. If you really want to hear about fishing, let me blow your mind. Now listen to something. When you're talking about fish, you just hit the spot. I was hoping you did believe it or not. The fish your father caught, to you it was great. But it's them small fish my father just used to bait. Lion went ahead on points in the show. Completely eliminated Mr. Debo. The next man to beat was Will the Outrageous. He asked the judges if he could lie first. The judges asked Lion, the Lion agreed. Say any topic Will pick is alright with me. He outrageous, I strong, let we meet head on. And when we done, see who head fit to wear the crown. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie?
Teacher Percy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die.
Let it go. Let it go. Choke it up. Yeah. The outrageous say that he knew a tailor comes to making suit. The man is the master. If you show him a man coming wrong a corner, he could make him a suit and don't even measure. A talking about suit, sitting down correct, expertly made and fitting perfect. He used to sew for Shakespeare, make suit for Hamlet, and up to this day yet make a mistake yet. You know the crowd went wild, they couldn't cool down. I say lion, the lion losing the crown. The judges brought the crowd back to order and asked the lion to lie about a tailor. He said my man is the best, Rolf is his name. Cutting cloth, making suit is his game. Don't show him the man, my tailor is class. Just show him the corner where the fella pass, and he gon' make a suit. That is tailor, you hear lie? King liar.
Teacher Percy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die.
Whip it up. Pick it up. Let it go. Move it up. Let it go.
Teacher Percy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die. Teacher Percy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die.
Yes, my good people, you heard about the King Liar. Well, let me drop a clip here that you could hear the King lying in Parliament about the prison project. Let's take a listen to Dr. Joe.
Further, on August 18, 2023, St. Kitts and Nevis CBI officials, led by Attorney General, met with UK Home Office about our new CBI regulations and practices. On October 26, 2023, our same team of officials met with US Treasury Department in Florida, along with officials from Caribbean CBI states, to discuss progress on US Caribbean Roundtable 6 agreed principles, Madam Speaker. On January 25, 2024, the team met with EU visa officials in Dominica to update them on new regulations and current practices. Madam Speaker, we have maintained constant dialogue and engagement with our international partners. However, we knew that the prison project had contributed to over 20,000 new citizenships being granted in a short period of time, Madam Speaker. This is the travesty. The travesty in all of this, Madam Speaker. 20,000, Madam Speaker, citizenships, over 20,000 to 25,000 new citizenships being granted in a short period of time. Madam Speaker, let's pause for a moment on that. How can anyone grant 25,000 citizenships for a prison? 25,000 based on the new census, and the Minister of Sustainability is here. Senator Honorable Dr. Joya Clark, that we are about 53,000 residents here in St. Kitts and Nevis, both citizens and residents. 53,000, Madam Speaker. And for a prison, you give up to 25,000 new citizenships. Madam Speaker, this is a travesty. It is borderline treason. On a prison project, you have granted citizenships to up to 25,000 citizens, half of your population. Madam Speaker, if any percentage of those persons were to come here, what will happen to St. Kitts and Nevis? But nobody was thinking about St. Kitts and Nevis. People were thinking about themselves, Madam Speaker. Putting self above nation. This is a travesty. And I want history to record that I inform the people of this. Our children must know this. Our grandchildren must also know this. This cannot be hidden from the people. This is a travesty, Madam Speaker. Any leader who grants 25, 50% of your population in citizenship by investment over prison, any leader who does that, Madam Speaker, should never be able to face the people again. Madam Speaker, this hurts badly, you know. Each time I watch the number, I call the AG. AG, is this real? Is this number real? 25,000? Over a prison project? In such a short period of time, committing the country to this? Committing the government to this? Madam Speaker, every citizen should be outraged by this. This was totally unnecessary. Our country should not have been subjected to this risk, Madam Speaker, with this high number of citizenships over prison.
One thing I can say to you, Prime Minister Joe, everything that you presented there is factual. You presented it well. But what you left out is to tell the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, tell the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, that you signed off on the majority of CORs for that project. You're the one that sell out the people in the end. Whoever started that project, we campaign on it as a corrupt project. We campaign on that as a corrupt project. I have WhatsApp in my phone that went between Dwyer Astafan and our current AG Garth Wilkin, talking about those corrupt activities. The AG himself in those WhatsApp replied to Dwyer, said that was a good scam. But though the AG is claiming it was a good scam, we in the fourth year of his term as an AG, nobody have been charged for this scam. The prison project continues under your leadership, Dr. Joe. You need to tell the people of the country, tell the citizens why that prison project continues. What arrangement you made with the US government in regards to that prison project. Who backside you're trying to save with all these deals you're cutting and the backs of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to save whose backside in your cabinet? Tell the people of St. Kitts the truth. Come and tell the people. The DJ knows the truth. The DJ know who they are. But I don't got the 500,000 you are going to want me to put up in 21 days when I start calling names. So just like I wait for the bomb to bust now, I'm going to wait until the US government pick up some of them backside. In the not too distant future, you all know what's coming down the pike. You're bullshitting the citizens about negotiation. Negotiating what? There's no negotiation going on with the US government. There's mandate by the US government. The US government is dictating to you guys what you have to do. before they make the move that they're going to make. There are individuals in St. Kitts and Nevis are hard and soft targets, just like Maduro. Maduro ain't got nothing on them. Time will tell. Time will tell, Dr. Joe. And if you don't do the right thing, your ass gonna drop right in that frying pan. You realize that you're trying to save Dougie, according to them, and Dougie came out against you with the refugee statement. You all fighting in your camp, fighting amongst yourself and damaging the country. The people of St. Kitts and Nevis is paying a serious price. The unfortunate situation is that I chose to sacrifice myself to bring the information and awareness to the people. But the 1 or 2 cronies you all have around you, who are willing to support no matter wrong you all do, as long as they get in a little thing on the side. This is the problem we have in St. Kitts and Nevis. We got some jackasses around you that willing to sell their soul for political support. No care for the country. No wonder you all don't want to give the gentleman his credit for the motto, country above self, because you all don't believe in that motto. It's all about you all. You all sitting down pretty. The taxpayers' dollar take care of you all, clothe you all, pay you all, bill, feed you all. While you all step on the head and step on the foot. My good people of St. Kitts and Nevis, elections is around the corner, you know. Elections is around the corner. They're going to come to you with all kind of soft conversation. They're going to cuss Timothy and tell Timothy all kind of nonsense about Timothy and Haitian and Timothy deport Haitian. But you all remember back in 2022, there was a situation there where they were saying some 71 Haitian came into St. Kitts. You remember that? There's a 71 Haitian came into St. Kitts for the election. I don't know how many of you all remember that. So I do not know what they're saying about Timothy don't like Haitians. Trying to make people thinking that Timothy is not good. Well, I already give Timothy the blows that I had for him when it was appropriate. But the reality of the day today is that what we have is worse than the former administration. This is a clip that one of them was pushing back in 22, you know. Either 20 or 22, but I think it's 20. This is a clip they were pushing.
Eugene, my father's, yeah. 71 Haitian came in on a private charter today. 71. All new passport documents, everything is new. My question is to the immigration officers, them. Are they really serious? Are they really doing the work they're supposed to do? Because these people don't know a damn thing about St. Kitts. Not a damn thing about St. Kitts. And they let them through. You see the bullshit going on in St. Kitts and Nevis?
You understand, my good people? That was a clip from back in 2020 when they were saying that the former Team Union administration let in some 71 Haitian with passport in hand, voters ID and everything in hand. But they're claiming that Timothy deported some 49. So the propaganda, my good people, we got to keep our eyes on the prize. Stay away from the propaganda and focus and saving our beloved federation. That's what we need to focus on. saving our beloved Federation. Now, I'm going to drop a clip here now. I'm going to drop a clip because there are some bloggers out there. They are very upset with Dr. Joe, and rightfully so, they should. Because why would Dr. Joe take the advice of individuals to go out there and sign a MOU with the US government to take third country refugees? And it's in its forwardness, he don't want to Haiti. Well, I had the opportunity to work with some Haitians in New York, you know. And there were some lovely folks. Didn't have nothing negative about them. And upon my return back to St. Kitts Nevis, I got to try and locate some of those Haitians and St. Kitts and have a conversation with them, because I did not know that Haitians are criminals and they're so bad that we don't want them in St. Kitts. So let's take a listen to this blogger giving Dr. Joe their views.
I hate when a group of black people think that their black is far superior than this black because they come from this region and not that region, and they come from this country and not that country. When you start doing that, you start gatekeeping a system that once ranked you and quite frankly is still ranking you. So St. Kitts, I don't know why you're speaking when no one asked you, actually confirmed that they signed a memorandum with the United States government to accept third country nationals, but specifically excluding Haitians. They didn't say we can't accept more people. They didn't say that we don't have the capacity. They didn't say, hey, we actually might need some support and we're asking for support to support the influx of people that we potentially might be receiving. No, they said we can't have any Haitians. Okay, sure, you can't have any Haitians. So while you're sitting here on your high and mighty horse, I thought I'd go ahead and do some education for you guys. Just to be clear here, they said that they can't have any Haitians because it's a security concern. Now, after they said that, the United States still froze their visas, right? You're still part of the 75 countries whose visas are frozen. So all of that tap dancing, what is it getting you? This isn't going to be another 1804 video, right? 1804 Haiti, it's a lot to be proud of. Believe me, it's a lot to be proud of. So Haiti, the first free Black republic in the Americas, fought a war from 1791 up to 1804, and then abolished slavery and gained its independence. St. Kitts later got their slavery abolished in 1834, but that was only done for them after Haiti put the fear of God or the devil, because I don't know what God you serve, in them, and put them on notice, put the global government, global Caucasian government on notice that Black people will be fighting for their liberation. So after Haiti fought its war, please pay attention to these next words because they're really important. Fought its war, abolished slavery, and gained its independence, all in that order. They were writing constitutions declaring that Black people were going to remain free. But not only that, they fought in other wars, American wars, Dominican wars, hell, Ethiopian wars. They prevented Ethiopia from being invaded by the Italians. And meanwhile, St. Kitts and Nevis was still in slavery, and you might not remember it as slavery because you were colonized by the British, and the British believe in assigning polite words to cover atrocities. If you call it a polite word, then this atrocity does not exist. They called it an apprenticeship as if you volunteered to do this shit. And then when did you gain your independence, right? Because slavery is now abolished in 1834 or 1843 or some shit like that. Wait, it was gained when? In 1867? No. 1905? No. In 1983. So St. Kitts and Nevis became independent in 1983. All the while, Haiti already got its independence and fought for it. So you're calling Haiti a security risk, right? So let me do some more education for you. Where there exists high value resources will exist conflict. And while St. Kitts is going around saying that Haiti is a security concern, the only reason why you know peace is because you have no resources that they want. If foreign governments are not in your country trying to push their foreign agenda, it is because you don't have anything of high value that they want to control. All the while, Haiti has been treated as a nation that should not know peace, as a project to manage, and not as a people who deserve to operate their own government and manage their own resources. Haiti has contracts to minerals that have not been explored. Haiti has gold, Haiti has copper, Haiti has iridium. Haiti is fighting to keep its resources to itself. What are you fighting for? As a matter of fact, you don't know how to fight because you gained your independence in 1983. So riddle me this. Why are you speaking when no one asked you? Why? You guys are acting as if Haitians do not find their way to St. Kitts and Nevis that they are going to die. Well, let me educate you on something else. So I took the time to research your country and I found out that your country survives mostly on tourism. At some point, your prime minister even said that 70% of the country survives on tourism, which means that your country depends on foreign nationals coming in and spending their money. Meanwhile, Haitians leave their country, right, because of instability. They don't leave it voluntarily because every Haitian I talk to wants to go back to Haiti. Sorry, I had to go get my eggs because this part is extremely delicious. Now, while your country is surviving purely on tourism, right? The reason why Haiti is still surviving today, one of the large reasons why Haiti is surviving today is because of the diaspora. The diaspora is now one of the most valuable resources of Haiti, meaning wherever Haiti and its people have decided to travel because of conflict, we are still supporting our country. Haiti's diaspora is worth at least $5 billion, and that $5 billion goes back home. What is your people doing for you? So please understand that if Haitians do not go to St. Kitts, they will be all right. They will be all right. So thank you so much for letting us know unprovoked that we can't come to your country. And to the Haitians watching this video, please don't internalize it, because why would we want to align ourselves with people who allowed a foreign government to call their slavery period an apprenticeship, and people who did not fight for their independence and only gained it in 1983?
Yes, so my good people, this young lady really dropped it, you know. I know a couple of you, Kittitian and Division out there, would disagree with her and upset with the young lady. But I have no problem with the young lady expressing herself about her country, because I will stand up for St. Kitts and Nevis just the same. The situation here is, instead of getting upset with that young lady for presenting her views on the whole situation, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis should be upset with the Prime Minister and his team for not consulting the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis on this MOU discussion. That is what the people of St. Kitts and Nevis should be upset about, not with the bloggers that represent St. Kitts and Nevis. And she said something correct. St. Kitts and Nevis citizens and national, they stand up and wait for shit to happen. What are you standing up waiting for? What is the fear? Why are you not fighting for the rights of your country? I'm going to touch me boy Carbo over there in Nevis, you know. I'm going to touch me boy Carbo over there in Nevis. Because whenever Carbo and I talk, you know, Carbo always talking about small business and the struggles and not getting the help from the government. But you bring an awareness march, you don't see Carbo on the street, you know. You don't see Carbo on the street. But he's going to give you a good conversation on the radio. He's going to give you a good conversation in person. Carbo, get up off your backside. Be a part of the process. Dwyer is campaigning for the government to assist foreign investors to stabilize their business. Get up off of all your backside. Reginald Francis, Glen Barrow, Friars, and all the other businesses and St. Kitts that are whispering in the corner. All of you, I ain't gonna call all your name because I know you're gonna get victimized. Come together. It's time to change government. No matter what you all say, this government is not going to do nothing better than what they have done. It's further downhill from here. When your foot already have gangrene, you cut it off. If you don't cut it off, you're going to lose your life. This Labour government cannot change for the better. They only can continue for the worse. Let's take a listen to another clip here from another blogger from the Haitian family. I'm going to become a citizen of Haiti tonight because I'm going to support these folks in this one. But before I start supporting Haiti, I must first know what is in this MOU that Prime Minister Joe claimed he signed. I need to know word for word what is in that MOU. And we need to know. The citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis need to know. As per our good governance agenda, the Freedom of Information Act must go into effect. Why was the US government think that they have the right? Why did they think they have the right to come and impose on the sovereignty of St. Kitts and Nevis that we have to? According to the Foreign Affairs Minister, according to Dr. Douglas, I have the clip. He put his posting on his page that the small island states, they was asked to take refugees or deportees, and they don't have a choice. Why they don't have a choice? Everybody have a choice. The DJ had a choice to sit down, stay quiet, collect a paycheck while the government continue to fuck up the country. Yes, you heard me right. You heard what I said right. The DJ had a choice to sit back, stay quiet, collect a paycheck, and watch the Prime Minister and the rest of his cabinet fucked up the country. And I decide no. I will speak out. I will be that leader. I will do whatever it takes to make sure St. Kitts and Nevis and its people get the good governance that they need. So my good people, check out your dictionary for the words that I use, Check the dictionary. Because some of you out there hide holier than thou. You all go to church, you all know all of the scriptures then. But you all sit back and watch these actors, these gangsters mess up the country, and you're all okay with it. Well, this DJ is not okay with it, This DJ have a problem with it. And the party now start. Because I declare campaign season open from tonight. If you all ain't get the ideas yet, the party now start. The DJ is in way form. And I'm coming at them head on. When I walk around the car and I go whisper, I'm coming straight ahead. Take a listen to the blogger.
Bonjour, 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 bonjour Haiti, bonjour tout le monde. If my hair is not completely brushed, it's because I just came from working out and sitting in the sauna for like 45 minutes. But I want to say something to the Prime Minister of St. Kitts. Papa ici me volonté ba di on ba a Premier Minister St. Kitts là tant même m'a venu parler avec nous d'aller. To the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, is that the name of the country? If you are a country, because as far as I'm concerned, you guys are still a Commonwealth of England. So therefore, you guys didn't even fight for shit. You didn't fight for your freedom. You sat there in slavery until your masters say, okay, well, little boy, you can go now, go free with a plate of food. And now you acting like you can be so racist, so belligerent, so arrogant towards my people, towards the Haitian people. Go sit down somewhere. Your island is very small, 38 to 40,000 people, and it's not something that is negative, but as far as I'm concerned, we have 12.3 million people in Haiti. We fought for freedom. We started fighting since 1791, 1796. Okay? And because of that, a lot of people are trying to make us pay for daring to be free for what you couldn't do. Had you done what we did, you probably would have been in the same situation. Because guess what? The masters don't like when you say you don't want to be slaves. So you sat there in slavery till 1993, and now you somebody? Man, sit your ass down. Okay? Because you had to go to Cuba to get your degree, whatever it is. All right? Let me remind you that Haiti, we have our own university. We have our own, like if somebody wants to become a doctor, we have a university in Haiti that can take care of that. Now, are we going to some stuff? Yeah. Are we at fault? Maybe. But mainly, it's because we dared to be free, and I can say it with my full chest. All right? So take all your hatred, all your arrogance, put it somewhere. Because we don't care. The only reason I'm talking is because you're trying to be relevant. You're trying to be seen. Nobody gives a damn about your country. We've never heard from you before. We've never heard from St. Kitts before. I don't have anything against the people of St. Kitts, but since you represent them, I have to talk to you. Okay? Take your racism, your arrogance, put it somewhere else. And you know what pisses me off? You guys are acting like you were friends. Okay? Because weren't you part of the CARICOM thing that were trying to fix Haiti and send people, to be part of the so-called, council, whatever we have in Haiti now, the 9 members council? Weren't you acting like you were like friends? The worst thing on earth is to be betrayed by people who look like you. Actually, you don't look like us, because it seems like you're ugly as hell. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say. You irrelevant piece of shit. How dare you? Because Haiti is going through something, okay? But instead of understanding and being a brother, you're trying to be nasty and trying to, betray us, okay? I thought you were part of CARICOM, the organization who wants to fix Haiti. All of you can go to hell. All of you, bunch of hypocrites. Papa haïtien, kounya, c'est pas affaire de jouer mon non. M'oblige faire parce que l'op chercher respect, le monde de respecto, il faut battre le fer quand il est chaud. Je trouve tout le monde dans le monde qui m'ont baillé pour dire, c'est pour y avoir fait fréquent avec Haïtiens. C'est pour nous camper, pour nous dire ça qu'à ça, on te dit bœuf là. Et puis nous-mêmes, les linges sales, se lave en famille, n'a réglé à faire non. Suspend marché à foot pour te coin nous, car tout le monde qui gon porte. Quand y a ta sainte qui ça vient faire fréquent avec nous, ton côté qui tout petit, y aurait été l'esclavage jusqu'à 1983, jusqu'à présent, son prime ministre pas qu'un président, y pas gain équipe football nous même we going to the World Cup. Why would we be talking to this bullshit of prime minister? Okay? C'est parce que nous pas faire respect non. Donc on les parents haïtiens à battre le c'est parce qu'on pas faire sport mais c'est quoi ça me sentit comme mon parent je veux dire te peux pas haïtien nous pas faire respect non suspend OK mettez le dans figure nous suspendre c'est à marcher devant pour tout le monde qui ouvre porte n'a coraler ça qui nous gon pays fixer pays des gang dans pays monde qui met gang dans pays nous pas côté nous préfère passer misère nous préfère prendre humiliation dans mon série de monde qui tout l'aide nèg l'aide tant coucou a vinn faire fréquent avec haïtien killer n'a suspend killer n'a pas prendre m'pas jamais suspend dire non que Haïti son gros pays non son gros peuple but il semble que nous même en Haïti nous pas comprendre haïtien pas comprendre ça encore gon bagay nous manquer ça nous manquer nous besoin chercher parce que moi I'm sick and tired of you people I'm sick and tired of everybody qui gon bagay pour dire about Haiti sick and tired of it n'a pas obligé lever camper nous fixer pays.
Yes, my good people. And that is one of the Haitian bloggers giving their views on the whole situation. And as I said, the Haitian have a right to be upset, and I support them in being upset. My question to you, Kitishan and Division, aren't you going to demand that the Prime Minister present this MOU so that we can see whatever arrangement whatever demands that came in from the US, because the DJ is demanding that? Let's take a quick listen to my boy there, the group Charlie's Roots with the man David Rudder, paying tribute to the Haitians.
For so long, we looked away
sound of the man David Rudder, backed by Charlie's Roots. Haiti, I'm sorry. Now let's take a quick run across to St. Thomas, US Virgin Islands to be exact. I hear my boy, the man Malvern Gums of the Spectrum Band, have to say about the DJ.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that?
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Keep it locked right there. We're going to drop this track right about now by my brother there, the man, the Mighty Pat. Something that was put together by the Mighty Pat and DJ Marisha. This one is called The Alien, that the government is treating us to be at the moment.
Yeah. This is Mighty Pat at the control tower. We're gonna chant them down. We're gonna push them down. We're gonna break them down. Get ready to sing. 1, 2, 3. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis, that shouldn't be. Foreigners taking over slowly in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. St. Kitts Nevis, where I was born, there will be no place for me to hold on. We'll be sinking, we'll be drowning in deep water. There'll be no recover. Power hungry politicians slowly selling out the island to Tom Dick. Anybody who have money, now look what they make we. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis belongs to we. Foreigners taking over daily in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. The little job that we used to have, foreigners take it while me a starve. The little food that I used to sell, foreigners take him, even that as well. The jobs and businesses here in this country are owned by Arabs, Indians and Chinese. Gone to the beach, this white man tell me to get off of his property. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis, that shouldn't be. Foreigners taking over slowly in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over daily like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. DJ Marisha came and tell me. He said, Mighty, listen carefully. There'll be no place in our country left for we. Watch and you will see. Foreigners will be Prime Minister. Foreigners will be Premier. Foreigners will be Governor. Cause of passport money, we're going back in slavery. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis, that shouldn't be. Foreigners taking over daily in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. If you are proud to be a Kittitian, if you are proud to be a Nevisian, then take your flag up in your hand and wave it in any direction. This land belong to you and me. So stand up with pride and dignity and tell them foreigners bully. They ain't gon' chase me out of we country. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis should belong to we. Foreigners taking over daily in our country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush we. Come on. Let me see you say. Let me hear you say. Let me see you turn. Wait. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Don't pray them. Put up.
Yes, my good people, believe it or not, we are soon to be alien in our beloved St. Kitts Nevis. If we want to be realistic, the facts are what they are. The Constitution of 1983, when St. Kitts and Nevis gained their independence from Great Britain, gave every citizen of the country, I think back then it was over the age of 21, but I think it was changed to 18. Prior to the Constitution, it was the age of 21, but was changed to the age of 18 in 1983. Somewhere that way. Either way, once you're a citizen of the Federation, you can exercise your franchise to vote for whichever government you choose. On St. Kitts, we got some 40,000+ citizens, and Nevis some 13,000+, but that's include children and adults alike. Now, what we're dealing with at the moment, while we have some 53,000 citizens on St. Kitts and Nevis, birth citizens, descent citizens, however you want to call it, the CBI citizens, economic citizens, has way surpassed the population of St. Kitts and Nevis. We have in excess of 60,000 economic citizens, which means if these individuals decide to come back to the Federation and exercise their franchise, we are outnumbered. We're going to become aliens in our country, my good people. And that's the reality. Do not let these corrupt politicians mislead you all with this bullshit about CARICOM. These economic citizens who gain their citizenship by the prison project or otherwise, they can come into the Federation, register, vote, and decide who runs our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. My good people, we are coming to the bottom of the program, so let me just drop these quick ads and get out of here. Take a quick listen to my girl, Sister Carmen of Carmen Caterers.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and Sundays. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
Yeah, that's right. And Sister Carmen is there at Sherlyn, downtown Bastille, St. Kitts, right opposite the bus and ferry terminal from Monday to Saturday, midday until 5 p.m. And over in the Boyd's Village at the bus stop there, right opposite their garage shop on Sundays from midday until 5. Just that the Carmen know that the DJ sent you there. Now this one, of course, to the Sister Isla Nevis, Fountain to be exact, and hear what my boy Carbo have to say to us.
Cabos, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabos Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabos Punji and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabos and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabos, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over, food all over. You got the food all over.
Yes, the food is all over Nevis, just that Brother Carbon that DJ Marisha sent you. Now let's take a quick listen to what my boy, Brother Glenn Barrow have to say there about the Glen Barrow guest house here. Let's take a quick listen to Brother Glen Barrow.
Glen Barrow Guest House, located on Kearn Street, has gone specials again. Time to relax after the hectic season. We've cut the rates in two. Our $200 room, now $100. Our $250 room, now $125. Discounts apply when you stay 2 or more nights. Single nights they take 25% discount. You pay $150 and $175 respectively. For more information, call or email glenbarrow@gmail.com, telephone 663-0777 or 465-2935. Offer ends January 31st. This rate is for CARICOM residents only. Let us enjoy 2026 to the fullest at Glen Barrow.
I wonder if my boy Glen Barrow, when he said CARICOM welcome, if he mean the Haitian as well, because it looks like they want to leave the Haitian out of things these days. Now let's take a quick listen to my boy, the icon himself, the man, Dr. Garfield Alexander, and his thoughts of the DJ.
DJ Marisha, I don't want you guys to take your eyes off him. Remember, he's been around for some time. Let's go back to COVID and lockdowns. The gentleman came in, was locked down in quarantine, and then realized the total hypocrisy, tyranny, and oppression of the then administration during our most horriblest time. Spoke out. Not only spoke out, became an activist. And then you know what he did? Organize and centralize. And he never stopped organizing and centralizing until Timothy was gone. I don't even want to talk about the involvement he had before and the Douglas administration and the Harris. We ain't gonna talk about that. I'm just talking that during COVID, that man, both on this front, locally, and in the US, waged war against tyranny and oppression. One simple man, a DJ as he calls himself. He never called himself an engineer or anything else, just a DJ, because he understands the power of voice, and not just voice, autonomous, independent, honest, transparent voice always wins in the end. So it could be persons with unlimited power and unlimited money. He somehow always becomes the David against the Goliaths. Be careful with him. Be kind to him. Watch him. Because trust me, he's going to triumph in the end again.
Yes, that's the man, Brother Garfield Alexander, telling us about the DJ and his mission and his purpose. And you know, we all were sent here on this earth for a reason. Is whether or not we want to utilize our time progressively or not. But this evening, I'm going to change up the closing format a bit. I want to drop this track for all those seeking office in the upcoming general elections. To please, let's turn the corruption around and do it for the country, do it for the people. This one by the man himself, Lord Ranger, Want of Position.
happy all the time. When people here in this country, all they do is sit back and lie. But the man with intention to struggle on, all he get is nothing but scorn. And when he start to rise, only then people criticize. But when they want high position, they would lie, they would fight, even take another's life. Oh, pressing the poor man till he die. It ain't right, it's creating towards strife. Instead of working hard to move forward, all they do is playing backyard, doing so much wrong because they want a high position.
The Lord Ranger want a position.
This country, if anybody come from a poor family and they does not have no position in high society, they must fight day and night with good capability. But when he gain high authority, they still think it's too good for him, so they will find any way spread rumors around or some other plans, for they're jealous of the man position. And then for want of position, they would lie, they would fight, even take another's life. Oh, pressing the poor man till he die. It ain't right, it's creating towards. Or if a poor hungry man have a destination to rule over this nation, don't care what you do, he will still have position over you. For I see corruption in this country, the iron hand preventing man from being what he should be. But I will, for I should tell it out to the whole nation, that the men who created corruption are them same politicians. They will go around cussing each other down, creating strife among my people. And while we fight one another, they in hotel drinking together. And then for want of position, they would lie, they would fight, even take another's. Oh, pressing the poor man till he die. It ain't right, that's why my people lose. But when them politicians run election and say they want to help the nation, well, that isn't true. They just want position over me and you. Oh yes, that isn't true. They just want position over me and you. You could tell them again that that isn't true. They just want position over me and you. Oh yes, that isn't true. They just want position over me and you.
Yes, you heard it, my good people. You heard it, you heard it. My good people. These sharp dressers and whatever we have here is not the people for the Federation. It's not the people around the country. We need some roots people to really take over the country and do right by the people. As we come to the bottom of the hour and I'm about to sign off, I want to take this opportunity to big up the good folks there at Island Purified Water, Main Street, Newton Grounds and Kits. The best water people in our beloved Federation. I want to touch the man there, Brother Scotter. The man, Mr. Powell. I want to thank you guys for keeping the DJ hydrated whenever He's in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Love every time, my good people. Until such time as we meet next Wednesday, we will have a lovely weekend. For those of you who have to brace this storm to come here in the New York City area, be careful, be safe, and the